Hi, this is Neil Sequeira from Qliktag, and today we're going to take a look at the GS1 digital link. Now, the GS1 digital link is essentially a globally standardized URL format which contains all the identifiers of a product. For example, the GTIN or barcode number, the batch number or lot number, and also right down to a serial number for every single item produced. Now, today we're going to take a look at the Qliktag platform and how it can help generate GS1 digital links, and you can create 2D QR codes for your products at the most basic or fundamental level, which is really for an item SKU. And for today's example, we're just going to assume that we're doing this for a small business which has maybe a couple of products that where you want to just get started with creating your first 2D barcodes or QR codes on your product and just get started with the GS1 digital link and use it not only to identify products at a POS, but also to redirect towards some kind of product experience that you already probably have on your website. So I'm going to use this company as an example. It's a small business that produces olive oil bottles, and what we're going to try and do is create a digital link and a QR code for probably two or three of these items that we have here. So I'm going to click back into the Qliktag platform, and you'll see the platform has very extensive capabilities for creating GS1 digital link. So the platform is really designed as a digital link solution, but at the enterprise level, but it also has a lot of advanced capabilities and a full GS1 resolver capability, which allows you to route or create rules for routing scans to different experiences for products and managing everything to the backend without actually having to reprint the QR code on the packaging. So we won't go into too much of the details on how this is set up, but essentially we're going to look at just creating a digital link for trade items at the GTIN level or really the barcode SKU level. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click into things. And this is where we're going to add data about the products that we want to create links for. So I'm going to go ahead and create new thing. I'm going to enter the product GTIN, which is the 14-digit barcode number. And then I need an item name. So I'm going to click into the website and let's use this one for example. I'm going to click into the product, pick up the item name, copy it, drop that here. And we have the GLN or the location number of the business. And then you have brand name. So I'm going to write Novo here. I'm going to select the product category, which is in this case a food item. And then what I'm going to do is here we have these options like item links. So you can take an existing URL or product page that you have and point your 2D QR code to one of those for this item. So here we have this product page, and this is where I'd like to redirect people who scan the QR code to. So I'm going to pick this up, copy it, go back here, and set that as my item page URL. And now the second one I'm going to add is probably the brand website URL. You can add multiple URLs here, so you can have a different page for the item. You can have a different one for promotions that you're running, different one for traceability information, and finally the brand URL, which is essentially just the website. In this case, this one. And now that I have this in here, I'm just going to hit save, and the system will automatically generate a digital link or a standardized URL for this. So you can see the product's been added here with the item GTIN. And if I click now on links, you'll see that it's auto-generated all the digital links for the item. And the default one is this one here, which is just simply your website domain /01. And 01 is the identifier for GTIN. And then it's followed by your 14-digit barcode number GTIN. Now, I'm going to go back. And what I want to do is I want to filter out just this one product that we added. So I'm going to type in just the brand name and hit search. And that filtered out just the one product that I've added here. And now what I want to do is I want to export these links or digital links. So I hit export link URLs. And you'll see that downloaded a file into my downloads folder. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to generate or show you how to generate a QR code out of the links. So if you look at this file, it simply has the digital link, which is your domain name, followed by the identifier for GTIN, which is 01, and again followed by the 14-digit GTIN. So that's the URL I want to encode into a URL, sorry, into a 2D barcode or QR code. And generating QR codes is fairly simple nowadays. I can take the sheet, I can drop it in my drive, my shared drive here. You'll see that it's just generated, or this is the file that I exported, and I want to open it in Google Sheets. And this is my spreadsheet. So if I have 100 products, I'll essentially have 100 rows with 100 unique digital links here. And now to generate a QR code, you can use plugins, you can use Excel. There's a lot of ways where you can bulk generate QR codes. So I'm going to use a plugin that I have here in extensions called the bulk QR code generator. And I'm just going to hit start. And here we have the QR code. So you select the QR code value, which is column A, and I'd like this QR code saved on column D. And then you can select the design of your QR code and just hit generate QR codes. And that should be about it. You can see that it's generated the QR code. So if you have 100 QR codes or 1,000, it'll generate a QR code for every one of these links in the last column D. We don't need this one. But essentially, this is your 2D QR code that can go on your product or on your packaging. And now that we have our QR code or 2D code generated, we can actually test to see how the digital link redirects to that product page that we linked it to. So I'm just going to pull up my phone screen here, bring up my phone, and we're going to scan this 2D QR code that we generated right now. And you'll see it instantly brings up the digital link and then quickly redirects to that product page that we pointed it to. So this gives you a lot of control over your 2D codes on your packaging. You can easily come into the system and edit the link and point it somewhere else to another page if you choose to. You can also set up rules to route your product or your scan to different URLs depending on who scans it. So if someone from supply chain scans it, you can point it to traceability or delivery information. If regulators scan it, you could configure it to point to different information that regulators probably require about your product. And similarly, when consumers scan it, you can point to a product page, a smart label, a digital product passport, or anything that's relevant for consumers to know more about your product. So this is essentially a very simple setup for configuring GS1 digital links at a very basic GTIN level. In the use case that we just discussed, we assume that the brand or the product has product pages on the website that they would like to use the QR code to point to. However, the platform does provide you with a very extensive visual interaction designer, which allows you to actually design templates for the product experiences that your QR code would point to. So you can actually come in here and design different kinds of experiences for your product, like product information page, track and trace logs for traceability. You can do product safety information or recipes, all kinds of different experiences, and you can apply these across hundreds of products or thousands of products with a single. So there's a lot of features around the GS1 digital link and implementing it. As we mentioned, you can also do highly complex routings or rules for your organization to point the digital link to multiple experiences. You can also provide information at not just the SKU level, but also at the batch and the lot level, and all the way right down to the serial item level.